What's up, guys? It's been a while. It's been about, is it 2 weeks? Not too long. I've just had some things going on in my life at the moment, guys. So, Office was in use as well, so I couldn't really use it. But we're back, and we have hit over 11,000 subscribers. Honestly, guys, I want to say to every single individual on this channel, every single subscriber, thank you for subscribing to the channel. If you guys still watch my videos, thank you so much. Obviously, we have a new trend. We've got a new topic that we are reacting to this year, and it's relationships, it's the media, it's all those kind of things, women versus men, all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested, you want some value, you want to get involved, watch the videos, man. I'm going to be reacting to today some of the most delusional women live on Valuetainment show. So it's going to be a good one, man, and I'll give you my honest reaction too. Let me know in the comment section what you think of these women. Again, this isn't biased, it's not against all women, this is just some of these modern women, and when it comes to money and how much they think a man should earn, it's a joke. Let's get straight into this.
Ideally, how much money should your man make a year, Heather?
8 figures.
8 figures.
Ideally.
Okay, so that's $10 million.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Ideally.
Okay.
Sure.
Ideally. Gotcha.
Ideally, not even 10 million. It's ideally.
I mean, ideally or realistically? You asked
Well,
ideally.
let's go realistically, since ideally is. So you want to date an NBA?
You want to add a couple million on that?
Yeah, you want to date an NBA player, but like the best NBA player, because most NBA players make like $3 million.
So, which is like, well, I was going to say Kobe. Someone like Kevin Durant. Someone like, oh my God, LeBron. So you want to be dating someone like LeBron.
You want to date the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins.
No, I don't date athletes.
Or you want to date the CEO of Amazon. All right, so athletes are out?
Athletes are out.
Okay, so athletes are out. So
Sorry,
all your
guys.
10 million just got cut
Is
in
this
half.
always, or is this a new?
I've dated athletes, and it's just not my thing. So I've tried it, and it's just personal preference. Nothing against you guys.
So
but not for
ideally,
me.
respect 10 million. Fucking shit. By the way, what percentage of men do you think make $10 million a year?
I'm sure it's a very small percentage.
Give me a number.
I'm not good with numbers.
I mean,
So you want a guy that makes 10 million, but you're not good with numbers.
10. I mean,
1 through 100, like percentage.
it's probably like 1/10 of a percentage.
0.00001%. All right, you got this thing, girl. Okay, that's ideally. Realistically, what would you deal with?
I think 6 figures.
Gotcha. All right.
6 figures minimum.
So you just went from 100,000
to 10 million.
10 million to 100 grand.
Okay, well, I'm just. You said ideally. Who doesn't want ideally the most amount? Come on.
Pearl, ideally / realistically, how much money should your man make a year?
I think ideally for me would be like 70, 80.
70?
70, 80.
That's ideal?
What the? Not
No.
million.
Oh, I
70 million a year
That's
or lose my
crazy.
number, homie.
I don't know where, like, girls on my show say this all the time, like 6 figures up. Like, I have never thought I was going to date a guy that made 6 figures.
Why?
I don't.
You make
Does
6
your
figures
dad make
now.
more than 6 figures?
Yeah.
So don't you want to give your kids the life that you've had?
We grew up pretty frugal. Like, we made a lot of money, but we like.
You had a slide in your backyard.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I grew up
slide.
on fuel assistance and welfare. That's a very
Did the
big
slide
difference.
go into the pool or just onto
This is what I'm
grass?
saying.
Pond.
Oh,
So you see this woman here, yeah, with the red hair. So she just said she was pretty poor, right, growing up as a kid. Didn't have much. And I understand the whole concept behind I grew up poor, humble, all these things. I want to give my kids the best opportunity in life. I don't want my kids to go through what I went through. I get that, yeah. But then you can't expect all the time that you deserve better when you came from that. Remember where you came from first. Understand and realize that, and then maybe you can go, okay, I want better. However, not all women, some men as well, right? They come from broke homes, poor backgrounds, and they just expect a better life. Just, I deserve. No, you don't. You know?
Oh,
you're
Richard.
That is the sign of wealth right there. Because a slide just onto the grass,
or like,
it's like grow
think
up.
about it. you do sports, you've been able to travel. There's a lot of things that your family like has been able to provide. $70K, like it's hard to send your kids even on an AAU team.
Yeah. Okay, so the question is, because are you getting that number because there's a study out there that says $70,000 is the baseline that creates happiness, and anything above that is more materialism and consumerism. Is that where you're getting that number?
No, I got the number because it's a little more than what I used to make at my sales job.
Okay.
So it's just like, that's what I used to make, like roughly $50K.
Okay.
So you said ideally, like honestly,
Right.
I was just thinking the same job that I used to have.
Interesting.
I mean, like I
So
did
what
good
would you
on-
say to someone who's saying, Pearl, you're crushing it right now. I assume you're making way more than 70,000. What would you say to the people out there that it's like, come on, Pearl, you're selling yourself short. Do better.
I mean, how do I put
think
it?
you
Like,
are.
I mean, how do I put it? Like, sure, if that happened, like, great. I just don't think it's like that realistic. I mean, it's such a small percentage of guys that make that much money. Like, I think it would be unrealistic of me to think, oh, this guy has to make more money than me.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you some numbers in a second as far as like what men make and what percentage of men make. But let's go down the line here, and then I'll give you some numbers. Ideally / realistically, how much?
How does he
would a
not
man make?
knock that mic, man? That's skill.
We're on the same
That's
page,
skill.
girlfriend.
10 million.
Ideally,
Okay, I like that.
would like a successful entrepreneur who's making more money than me. We did discuss because we were on the pregame.
Why has he got? But why has he got to be an entrepreneur?
What like my lowest would be, and I think I said 120 or 150.
Okay. So minimum baseline
minimum.
is 6-figure man. Minimum.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Emily?
Ideally, I love where my ladies' heads are at. Let's be a little delusional, you know? I'd say at least 10 million. You know what? Fuck it. Let's make it 50 mil a year, ideally.
So you
I
guys
want
are
2 slides.
comfortable. You guys are comfortable with being delusional.
Absolutely.
I'm not delusional. I've dated a guy.
And she's got her fucking shoes off with her bare, dirty feet, and you want a guy that's gonna
Whose
fuck
house
off.
was 8 figures.
Okay.
So I mean, that's just you know, I know it's
Yeah.
out there.
Okay.
It's
You
out
want a
there.
guy ideally makes 50 million, 10 million a year,
You're
and you
not
got your
delusional
shoes off.
because you've done it before. Have you ever done?
You've got
dated a guy who makes 10 million a year?
no
Oh,
sense of
please.
personal hygiene or
Baby
etiquette.
brokies.
Okay.
You've got no sense of hygiene and etiquette, and you've got your shoes off and your bare feet out. And you want to talk about 10 mil. My man needs to make 10 mil. Get out of here, man.
So maybe you're delusional and she's not,
Yeah.
and you're embracing that.
I'll stay delusional, honey.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay. So,
So
put your feet
realistically-
away.
Realistically, I think on Pearl's podcast we did talk about this minimum for if it's a single family provider.
Yeah.
I would want my husband to be making 120, 150 around there.
Got it. Okay. So there's realistically we're in the 6-figure 70K category. Delusional status, I meet this guy making 8 figures, 10, 20 million bucks a year. Okay. Now if that guy makes 10, 20 million dollars a year, let's go there for a second. How comfortable would you be if he cheated on you every once in a while? Not all the time, but once a year. Heather, I love you, baby, but I'm going on a business trip. By the way, I made $10 million this year. So you like your G-Wagon that you're driving.
I mean,
you like the
that's-
mansion.
That's how it is. That I think.
So you're
I
okay
do,
with that?
I agree.
Okay,
that is
you-
how it is.
you
But
accept it
there's-
then.
You know,
Okay.
There's a payoff for everything.
So you are comfortable with it.
I'm not comfortable with it. It's not ideal if we're speaking idealistically. But I
Once a
mean,
year
I
you'll
think
do.
Look at this double standard bullshit. So you want a guy that's making 10 million a year. You said ideally I want him to be making 10 million a year. Now the shoes on the other foot, the man goes, look babe, yeah, in a fake situation, I made 10 million a year. I bought you that G-Wagon. I bought us the new house. We got a new lawn. I've given you some kids or whatever, or kid or whatever it is. Maybe they don't have kids. Going on a business trip. And imagine he does sleep with someone. And now you want to go, ideally, I'm comfortable with that. So it's double standards. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, you can't, how can you say that you want someone that makes 10 million a year, gives you everything, and he cheats on you on a business trip, or he sleeps with other women because he makes that much money a year, and then you go, oh, actually, well, you can't have both. This is what I'm talking about, man.
if I'm driving a G-Wagon, I'd rather cry in a G-Wagon.
Yeah.
What's the saying? I would rather cry in a
Okay.
G-Wagon.
So
man.
once a year, what about 10 times a year? What about once a month?
I mean, it all depends on the situation.
He's now making $20 million a year. You have 2 G-Wagons.
If you're in my name,
One for you
if
and one
they're
for your
in my
assistant.
name, sure.
So sad, isn't
Wow.
it?
Okay.
That's
Guys,
so sad.
Make your fucking money. You'll date Miss Montana, cheat on her as much as you want, but you got to make $10-20 million a year.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
need an allowance. I would be like, put money in stocks for me, like start a company for me, like little things on the side where I'm making money,
Okay.
and if you cheat on me,
Do everything
Now
for
flip
me.
it.
Me,
The dude
me.
making $70,000 a year, or even
Fuck
$100,000
no.
grand a year.
No.
Oh, you
that-
got
Would he,
left
is he
that
allowed
guy-
to cheat on you?
No, that guy will treat you better. So it's a
Who's
balance.
gonna treat you better?
The guy that makes less money. Because
So would you
it's
rather?
false.
Would you rather?
false.
Would you rather the guy that makes $120 a year but treats you great, doesn't cheat on you, respects you, or the guy that makes $10 million a year, probably treats you okay, but definitely cheats on you, but you're driving a G-Wagon?
Just 'cause he
Which would you pick?
doesn't cheat
I mean,
on you.
it depends on the guy. Ideally, I want somebody that I can have fun with. That's really important to me, that we get
What
along,
does that mean?
because I view marriage as, it's a 50-year-long conversation. So if you're somebody that I can have a good conversation with, that's what's most important
You
to
ain't
me.
looking at that in
So
50
if we can
years.
have fun together, have a good conversation, travel, and just have a good time, that's my priority. So it depends on the person.
Wow.
That was
So
beautiful.
deluded.
This is why
So
men need to
deluded.
make money. Because girls just want to have fun.
Yeah.
Fun costs money. Men need to make money because men want women. And women want fun.
But men are
and fun
making
costs
less
money.
money.
And guys need to make money because men.
Do you know what's crazy? Yeah, he's so smart in the way he delivers this, because he's actually making them look even more delusional. Not Pearl, and I don't know about this one, but Pearl, she hasn't really said much. She said 70K, that's fine. The other women, he's making these other women look so delusional. He's just flipping it and saying the same thing that they're thinking. And I honestly, I feel sorry for men out there, man. That again, these women want the 0.000 like the 0.1% of men that make this kind of money. LeBron James, quarterbacks, professional footballers, like the highest paid, like Ronaldo, and these kind of players are on that level. They want these men. It's like, how many men are out there of that stature? Not a lot. So realistically, you're not going to find them. And when they say, ideally, I want, what does that mean? So that means you're not happy. So let's just say you find a guy that's earning 6 figures. You're not happy with that. Because if a guy that comes in and he makes $1 million a year, oh, well, you only make 200 grand a year. He makes $1 million a year. What the fuck? Why can't you just settle for a good man that makes decent money, makes you happy, gives you chill? Like, why can't you just sit? It's such a sad reality that we're living in. It really is.
And want women, and women want fun, and fun costs money, and that's just how it goes. We're gonna do a whiteboard episode on that, right,
Yes,
Nat?
yes.
Girls just want to have fun. You were saying what were you saying about we were talking about how delusional you are. Continue. You're saying that the guy that
So
makes
if he's
10, 20
making
million,
10
he could do
million?
whatever he wants. Can he do any wrong? He
No.
can cheat on you? Anything?
No, he still has to be accountable to me. I'm
Why?
still
He's
his
giving
wife.
you an allowance and you're driving a G-Wagon. Why is he
Okay.
still accountable?
and
And he's getting this pussy.
and I'm raising his children.
So he's getting that pussy? So what do you have, like a magical
is.
pussy that like has leprechauns?
You ain't raising shit. You ain't raising shit. If a man made 10 million a year, you don't have to raise no kids, man. You're getting a nanny in, you're getting a babysitter in. You ain't raising shit. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, you it's double standards. It's all double
I
standards.
honestly
What?
do. You should hit a
Me,
milestone.
what I want, what I want.
Say when I said women want to be sold a dream. You
Pearl,
want a rich
weigh
guy
in
that
on this,
doesn't
Pearl.
cheat on you? Oh, come on.
Yes.
At least she gets it. She knows what rich problems come with.
I think ideally no one wants anyone to
Let's
cheat
find
on
a
them.
unicorn.
But I think a lot of women would put up with it.
But this is like the cognitive dissonance that I think
Fucking
men
hell.
So here you are, you got freaking Miss USA over here, Miss Montana.
Montana.
I mean, I think you should have won, but I think it was stolen from you. However,
Yeah, at least she
on
knows.
one hand, you want a guy that you can have fun with, that treats you right.
I mean, at least she doesn't mind being a doormat. You know, she doesn't care being a doormat for someone, right? Because she's getting a G-Wagon, she's getting a house, she's getting looked after, right? She doesn't mind being a doormat. The other one, it's like, well, you're getting everything. You're literally giving everything to you on the table, but he's not allowed to do certain things. Good luck.
But you also want a guy that makes $10 million a year ideally, and you're acknowledging the fact that if you're making 10 million bucks, yeah, I get it. You're going to have, more money, more problems, but maybe that guy would treat you better, but he doesn't make enough money. Does it just come down to lifestyle? That like, are women, I guess, Pearl, my question to you is, are women realistic with the lifestyle that they really want versus what is the ideal lifestyle that they actually probably need? What are your thoughts?
Are they realistic with the lifestyle that
Yeah,
they want?
like these women are obsessed with, not this woman, but women are obsessed with lifestyle. I've heard you talk about this before. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, women marry a lifestyle. Because who's the first one gone when he loses his job? Her. That's like one of the number one indicators that you're going to get divorced is if he loses his job. So that's why they say like women can't love in the same way that like men can love, because once you lose what you have, like a lot of times women leave.
This is such a good point out there.
But why
men fall in love, like ideally, like ideologically, like romantically, because there's no strings attached. I don't care, baby. Like I don't care what you do. I don't care what you make. I don't care what your career is. I love you. Whereas women are like, I love you. But I also love your mansion, your house, your cars, even if you have kids or whatever.
And I think
ideal lifestyle.
And I think the older a woman gets, the harder it is for her to genuinely love. Like there are some girls that are ride or dies, right? There are, but I just have noticed they tend to be that way if they met their man young. And like the more trauma like a girl's gone through, I just think it's harder for her.
Thanks, Just Pearl, man. Just Pearl, she's such a cool woman. She's actually a really good role model for these younger women out here, and I'm hoping some of these younger women are learning off her, because she's spot on with everything she says. When it comes to relationships, right, men genuinely love, like when they find a woman that they want to be with, they genuinely love them. Like they will do anything to keep them in their power. They do anything to keep them happy. But as soon as a man loses all of that, or he fails, he gets to failure, right, doesn't mean it's like that for the rest of his life. Most of the time women give up on him. Most of the time women aren't willing to be there with him in the mud. They're not willing to sacrifice their life as well as they're not. And like she said, 8 times out of 10 they're gone. Sorry, you lost your job, bye, I'm gonna find another man who's got a job. And it's like, that's why it's so hard for young guys today to find genuine relationships, because you can't trust people, you can't trust anyone. And it's just so sad to see these young, quite attractive women. I wouldn't put them in that boat, but for other men they're probably attractive. It's very sad to see them on this show make themselves look like idiots. They sound like idiots because their example or their ideology around what life should be is completely wrong. It's all fantasy, it's all dream world, it's all what they see on social media. They see the yachts, they see the holidays, the planes, the private jets. Okay, that's cool. Like, it would be cool to have those things, but be realistic, man. Why not settle for the average guy, good looking, looks after himself, makes a decent amount of money per year? But he makes 10 million. It's like, that's so sad. You're just gonna be so you just want to be a doormat for the rest of your life? Is that what you're telling me? You just want to be a doormat? You just want to be a little small imprint? Or do you want to make a legacy with a man? Do you want to be cared for? Do you want him to come home and look after you, cook for you, caress you, all these things, put you first, put you in this top of the priority list? It's like, you don't want to settle for that. Why is it that these kind of women want the opposite? They want the guy that treats them like shit. Oh, but he pays for my car. So fucking what? Do you know how sad that is? That you actually you're more than willing to become a doormat for these guys. Don't get me wrong, like, these kind of guys, they're successful because they've done certain things and they've taken risks, and I respect that. But wouldn't you rather a guy that's just making the average salary or just above, comes home, cooks for you, looks after you, takes you on a holiday? Okay, it might not be a private jet, it might not be a 5-star hotel, but he's doing the right things because he loves you. It's just fucking sad. And it boils my blood when I hear women like this saying, I want to, ideally, guy who makes 10 million a year, maybe 50. And you've got your fucking you've got no shoes on, you're twiddling your fucking crusty feet all over the carpet, and you're sitting there, oh yeah, my guy has to be making 10 million. Are you kidding me?